Thames, population about 7,000. Typical small-town New Zealand. Great for retirees, but for rangatahi starting out, it's a different story.
Lack of opportunities is probably the biggest one. A lot of the decisions that are made around here are made by people that are a lot older.
Which is why they've just hosted this Rangatahi Summit.
So the purpose of today was to make sure the rangatahi in our area who might not have the opportunity to hear from important people, not only inspiring for them, but also something that is obtainable. It personalises the people that they see online.
In this back corner, every other stool, could you please sit on this side?
This rōpū and wānanga were created in response to negative stereotyping of young people, particularly after a wave of high-profile ram raiding.
It came out of a time where ram raiding was, quite a big thing. Some of our rangatahi were getting involved in that sort of kaupapa. So just bringing it back and letting them have a light shine on them in a positive way.
And Hana Rāwhiti Maipi Clark was an inspirational drawcard.
What is one thing that keeps you grounded with all of the stuff that's going on?
For me is touch wood, go home, because at the end of the day, we are in Parliament from 8 a.m. in the morning to 12 a.m. at night.
When she first came in, it was like seeing myself there, like a young Māori wahine making power moves. It was just really cool. And she speaks her truth and she's not afraid to do that. She's definitely shaking things up, and I feel like she says what everybody wants to say, but they're sort of too scared to say it.
National elections are due next year, and this generation could make the difference. They don't just want their voice heard, but to be heard younger, and Hana is already onto it.
We're looking at lowering the voting age to 16 and to have civics being taught in schools. First and foremost, that shows how we can integrate politics and making sure our rangatahi have that communication stream between their decisions and in places like Parliament.
If, we are going to be as online as we are, then kids are going to learn a lot earlier. If decisions are being made for rangatahi that young, then they deserve to have a say in it too.
The stats are hopeful. Last election, the turnout of enrolled voters aged 18 to 24 was 74%, well above 25 to 44-year-olds.
Young people are the ones who are sort of going to take the brunt of whatever decisions are being made, because whatever the repercussions of the decisions that are being made now, they're going to have to deal with as they move up.
Living life in front of the camera, social media, it's part of this generation's DNA. And yet, the government wants a ban for under 16s.
Most social medias have a sort of age restriction, but then you can just lie about your date of birth,
I think as much as they could ban it, it still comes down to what's happening at home. And if it's acceptable at home, then the kid's going to do it anyway.
Come on, give me devotion.
Mental health is a massive barrier or challenge for rangatahi of today. How much do you blame social media for that?
Yeah, I think social media plays a huge part in it, but I'm a firm believer in the more that you know, the better. And I think that also helps with resilience. I think, if we can teach our kids super young that they're beautiful the way that they are and that they can be confident in who they are, then when they get older and they see these things people are saying about them, they just know it's not true.
A ban is already in place for under 16s in Australia.
The hope is that the ban will protect children from the harmful side of social media.
Jace Williams, a former principal turned relational neuroscience educator, doesn't think we need it here.
I hear the challenges they face in the social media space in particular. I know it has caused tremendous amounts of harm. It has claimed lives at the same time. But no one gives voice to the kids where that is their lifeline.
And what about this? David Seymour's revamped school lunches. There have been complaints here in Thames and across the motu.
That is so good.
Tasty and cheap, that was the sell. but kids complained that they were anything but tasty. It was a bumpy start.
The food quality is not the best, so kids are still hungry.
It's still a hot topic here.
The lunches they get at the high school here are really bad. Like, they'll come, we'll have rōpū some days, and they'll come to us after lunch and they'll be like, we had like something that looked like cat food for lunch. Like, and it's there, but a lot of them aren't eating it because it's yuck.
It's not appetising.
Yeah, and then, so the problem of them going without is still a problem.
Here on the streets of Thames and across small town Aotearoa, the big issue for school leavers is what's next. Unemployment among 18 to 24-year-olds runs at almost 16%, a touch above the national average. Absalom is a former case manager at Work and Income.
I noticed like a massive influx of 18-year-olds that would jump straight into a benefit instead of looking towards something else. So maybe if there was something instead, that there was like a transitional thing maybe from high school to maybe not uni, something more accessible, something that's not so as scary as tertiary study.
For rangatahi who don't get opportunities like this, where does it leave them?
When I was younger, I didn't have something like this, which was very hard. And I had a lot of friends that didn't necessarily go down the right path. So I think this helps stop a lot of that.
Because of those lack of opportunities, I guess maybe they didn't even know that that would have been an option for them, yeah. So they sort of just lower their standards for themselves by default, I guess, which is really sad because they have so much potential to be so much more.